this warship is to maintain freedom of the seas and project power ashore in defense of our nation and our allies around the globe. Homeported in San Diego, California, Kitty Hawk has served in the Pacific Fleet since its commissioning on April 29, 1961. During more than 30 years of fleet service, the ship and its crew have made 17 extended deployments to the Western Pacific in support of our national objectives and operational taskings. As you might expect, life aboard an aircraft carrier is a unique experience. Some describe it as the floating city, while others call it one of the busiest airports in the world. This presentation will give you an inside look at the ship, its embarked aircraft, and the outstanding young men who make Kitty Hawk a capable and credible military capability that will be the critical advantage in future crises and conflicts.
So big, I can't actually believe something this big can float.
With an average displacement of 81,000 tons, it's difficult for some to imagine Kitty Hawk at sea. Though more than 3 football fields in length, nearly 1 field wide, and almost 1 tall, Kitty Hawk is not only able to float, but can reach speeds in excess of 30 knots or 35 miles per hour. The strategic value of aircraft carriers rests in their ability to quickly travel to remote regions of the world and project power over a wide area with its embarked aircraft. When the call goes out for a show of strength, one of the first questions from national commanders is, where are the carriers? In spite of changes on the global political scene, the aircraft carrier is ideally suited for conflicts in the New World Order. Regional crises in areas where there is little or no U.S. land or air forces nearby to protect American and Allied interests. As the centerpiece of naval might, called the Carrier Battle Group, the forward deployed carrier is the cutting edge in rapid response, complemented by Aegis and guided missile cruisers, destroyers, frigates, submarines, and resupply ships. The carrier is able to conduct sustained combat operations without infringing on the sovereignties of neighboring nations. The presence of an aircraft carrier has been and remains a strong deterrent to would-be aggressors. Dozens of carrier-based aircraft can strike air, sea, and shore targets with precise accuracy, while its other aircraft keep hostile forces far away. The 8 types of aircraft which make up the air wing aboard Kitty Hawk are synergistic parts of the ship's offensive and defensive capabilities. The F-14 Tomcat is the Navy's air superiority fighter. Capable of flying more than twice the speed of sound, the Tomcat's 2-man crew can track 24 targets at a time and can simultaneously attack 6 of them using the AWG-9 or AWG-9 radar and Phoenix weapon systems. As scrappy as the nickname suggests, the Tomcat has been on the prowl for nearly 20 years. The F and A-18 Hornet is a dual-role aircraft capable of attacking targets with a strike force or, with a change of its weapons load, provide cover overhead as an air interceptor. The Hornet's superb flight characteristics and payload versatility make it a true force multiplier. The oldest aircraft in the air wing is the A-6E Intruder. In spite of more than 3 decades of service, the Intruder is still a valuable carrier base asset, an all-weather day or night bomber. The Intruder is second only to the Air Force B-52 when it comes to the gross weight of the ordnance it can deliver. Similar in appearance to the A-6, the EA-6B Prowler is used to provide electronic warfare support to the strike force. A combination of electronic receivers and jammers allow the 4-man Prowler crew to disrupt and confuse enemy radars and radio equipment, clearing the way for the bombers. To submarines lurking beneath the waves, an aircraft carrier is a tempting prize. To combat the undersea threat, the S-3A Viking uses a combination of infrared, sound, and magnetic detectors to locate even the quietest, deepest diving enemy submersibles. Vikings also carry an array of ordnance so that once the submarine is located, its 4-man crew can attack the target. Supporting the S-3A Vikings in the hunt for submarines are the SH-60F Seahawk helicopters, the newest members of Kitty Hawk's Air Wing. Equipped with a dipping sonar probe and 2 Mark 46 torpedoes, the Seahawk provides close-in anti-submarine warfare support to the ship. Seahawks are also used for search and rescue operations. Dubbed the mini AWACS, the E-2C Hawkeye is the eyes of the carrier battle group. Within its saucer dome are receivers and transmitters that allow its 5-man crew to provide attack mission data, air traffic control instructions, navigational assistance, and search and rescue guidance. As the quarterback of flight operations, there's always at least one Hawkeye in the sky whenever Kitty Hawk is deployed. The final member of the Air Wing team is the C-2A Greyhound. Greyhounds are commonly referred to as CODs, short for Carrier Onboard Delivery. Though it doesn't have the flashy roles of other aircraft in the wing, it is without a doubt the most revered aircraft on the ship. In addition to ferrying people, supplies, and spare parts aboard, it is the primary means of bringing mail to an eager crew. On an average day at sea, more than 95 aircraft will take off and land aboard Kitty Hawk's 4-acre flight deck. Life here is fast-paced and hazardous. The flight deck is often described as one of the most dangerous places in the world because of the continual landing and launching of aircraft from the same confined deck. Nearly 100 crewmen and squadron personnel work here and all must be ever vigilant to their surroundings. One misstep could be disastrous. Kitty Hawk has 4 steam-powered catapults to launch planes from its deck at a rate of 1 every 30 seconds. On the nose wheel of every carrier aircraft is a towing assembly that hooks the plane into the catapult shuttle. The weight of the aircraft is combined with the wind speed to determine the right amount of steam to push the aircraft down the 260-foot-long track. The catapult, used in conjunction with the plane's own engines, can accelerate the aircraft from 0 to 180 miles an hour in under 3 seconds. Watching sophisticated jets being launched is exhilarating, but perhaps even more exciting is watching them land on a pitching, rolling, and perilously short runway. Naval aviators call carrier landings controlled crashes, and with good reason. Aircraft approach the ship at more than 100 miles an hour and use a tail hook to catch one of the 4 resting wires resting just inches above the deck. That wire yanks the plane to a halt in 300 feet.
We like to think of CDC as the nerve center of the ship. This is where we control the weapon systems on board and direct the aircraft on their mission.
In a room lit by iridescent glow of radar screens, information is being received on the ships, planes, and submarines operating within 200 miles of Kitty Hawk. This is Combat Direction Center, or CDC. CDC is the eyes and ears of the ship, scanning the skies and the seas for potential enemies. Within CDC are 4 specialized modules to evaluate surface, air, submarine, and electronic warfare threats. The real-time information is compiled and relayed to the Technical Action Officer on 2 large computer graphic displays. Seated at his console, the TAO has all of the information he needs to assist the captain in dispatching forces to defend the ship against attack or to attack distant enemy targets. Under TAO's control are the only shipborne weapon systems Kitty Hawk has: the 20mm Gatling gun, Sea Whiz, or the closed-in weapon system. Capable of firing 3,000 rounds a minute, the Sea Whiz is used against missiles and aircraft that penetrate the outer air defense zone. The other primary defensive weapon is the NATO Sea Sparrow missile system. Kitty Hawk has 3 launchers with 8 missiles each that are effective against enemy aircraft.